There is no way that there's any income coming in. And at that point, for any company, you are insolvent. If you were...
Shoot, I'm about to say, without Iron Mouse, it's already looking hefty. Without your whole entire roster, yeah. Where's the dollars coming from? This is exactly what we were saying in the other video. Just saying, like, literally a minute ago. VShojo, I think you should have cared about your creators, your clients, and you should have most definitely cared about them because they need to really care about their audience, which is your consumers. But since you didn't care about them, you must not have cared about the consumers, which means you didn't care about a dollar, which means no more Monty. CEO ain't getting no Bentley, which means bankruptcy. Bye-bye. Yeah, we'll never be seeing you corpo companies once more ever again. Back once again, and you seen title and thumbnail talking about VShojo. Now, if you ain't see the other vids, definitely go check them out. The slop's sloppy, but this can't even be classified as no drama because this right here, probs. Y'all know what it is, but it's coming off of that. Of course, if you've seen the other vids that we made on the whole situation going on with Iron Mouse and VShojo, yes, VShojo, that evil corp, they stole 15. Yeah. Only it wasn't that much. $515,000 from Iron Mouse that she had raised with C-Dog VA Connor, you know what I'm saying, for the IDF, the Immunodeficiency Foundation. Yet they snagged that cheese for her, plus all the stuff that, you know what I'm saying, was coming out, that the way they were treating Iron Mouse and all that. Nixie. And the fallout from all of it. Messy. Extremely messy. So you know how that goes down, but apparently you already know Legal Mindset dropped a video on VShojo's inevitable bankruptcy. And like I was saying in the other vids, these corpos, they love money so much to the point where they really must not, because the way that they treat the creators and or consumers, a lot of them will be going towards that direction. But I will be saying the very least, because you already know Trilly yaps everything. So Trilly talks everything. Trilly does indeed yap everything. Every single time. Every time. Let's get right into it. You already know, of course, like I said, shout out the lawyer on the case. Shout out to love. Legal Mindset. We got VShojo's inevitable bankruptcy, like I said in the intro. Of course, you guys want to watch the OG video? Down in the description. First link, sure to love, but of course, Legal Mindset. And we need to definitely see this boy, because VShojo... Now.
The bankruptcy of VShojo is inevitable. At this point, all signs are pointing to insolvency. So today we're going to go over the bankruptcy process and exactly what it's going to look like and how it's going to affect VShojo. Of course, it's the Legal Minds where we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a fast, facts, quick, and dirty version of the legal education and news that gets best to you as quickly as possible. So smash a like and leave a comment if you like the fast facts versions. Now, getting into this, we've been covering the breakup of VShojo, as has happened and been covered by many channels. But one thing that I've said quickly, and I think I was probably the first person to point this out, is that bankruptcy is the way that this is going to wind up. As we're seeing things play out, as
you know, that's right. I ain't gonna lie, freaking again, yo, Iron Mouse herself, the Gully Pop, being like, yo, the biggest head, like one of the biggest VTubers ever, but literally the biggest head on VShojo, bruh. She was the reason that they were above, breaking even able to make a profit, bro. Without her, these fools, nothing, as you can see.
People are speaking out. It's very clear looking at the roster, looking at the fact that there's literally no talent left. This is a list as of
I'm assuming like the red is like all the heads that left. So yeah, Iron Mouse, we had seen Giga on this John. I know Techie had watched the whole John with Henya, like her response to this John. We know Emily left, we've seen it in the Techie vid too.
Today, all of the red people are confirmed to have left. So Zentraya, Iron Mouse, Project Melody, Hime, Kason, Haruka, Henya, Giga, Kuro, Matara, Michi, everybody here. Hestia, Yutori, Okamoto, Amelie. Everybody is essentially out.
Like, yo, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of them dead ass left 2 days ago. This fucking company is in the shitter. Same shit. Same toilet.
Then we've got people that left earlier, like Vebe, Silverbill, and Aminia. And then Fruit is the only one that's left that even is, you know, not made an official announcement, but she's removed VShojo from her profile. So she's expected to
So that's what this means. Remove VShojo from social media profiles. Oh yeah, she's leaving the shit.
leave. So at this point, they have absolutely no profit generation. There is no way that there's any income coming in. And at that point, for any company, you are insolvent. If you were
shoot, I'm about to say without Iron Mouse, it's already looking hefty. Without your whole entire roster, yeah. Where's the dollars coming from? This is exactly what we were saying in the other video. Just saying like literally a minute ago. VShojo, I think you should have cared about your creators, your clients, and you should have most definitely cared about them because they need to really care about their audience, which is your consumers. But since you didn't care about them, you must not have cared about the consumers, which means you ain't cared about a dollar, which means no more Monty. CEO ain't getting no Bentley, which means bankruptcy. Bye bye. Yeah, we'll never be seeing you corpo companies once more ever again.
already having problems when all of your creators were at their maximum revenue generation and you still were not profitable. There's no way to be profitable with no revenue coming in. It's a simple 1 + 1, and there really is no other way around that. Now, we're also seeing the scope of this debt, and even as of a while ago, this is not even totally current, but it's very recent here in 2025. You're seeing that they are about 2 million deep in
Jesus Christ, like in debt,
loans, and in what they owe to talent. $2 million. There's no digging.
Yeah, it's already beyond point. Is 515 of that? Yo, again, Iron Mouse's cheese. Like, yo, the charity's money. It must be, bro, because like
out of that. There's no going in and asking for another loan to bail them out when they've got no one working for them. This is leading to insolvency. And what happens in insolvency? Well, naturally, it would be a bankruptcy. That is the natural thing for a company to do, particularly when they are buried by claims, when they're going to be buried by lawsuits. When they're
I was about to say, they're definitely about to be buried in fucking legal troubles and lawsuits and shit. That's not even a question.
Buried by obligations and unpaid wages. You're going to have to turn to bankruptcy. So what does the bankruptcy process actually look like? Many people are not familiar with it or only know it in a personal context. We're going to talk about it in a corporate context today. So what that actually looks like is either reorganization or liquidation. Now we're talking about personal bankruptcy. There's different chapters we're not talking about personal bankruptcy. We're talking about corporate bankruptcy. For personal bankruptcy, you might be familiar with that. There's also municipal bankruptcy, and there's other sorts of bankruptcies that are in the bankruptcy code. But in this specifically, there's 2 that would apply, either Chapter 7 or Chapter 11. And I'm going to explain the difference.
So the first 2. Oh, well, yeah, it's literally all of them.
Difference. The difference is really between reorganization or liquidation. Chapter 11 is reorganization. This is for companies that have a chance. So you're saying there's a chance of.
Chapter 11 is for companies that have a chance of recovery and profitability. Nope. Yeah, VShojo's fucking done. Yeah, no, with all the shit coming out and the shit that's still going to come out, because again, a good amount of the girls are still under NDAs and shit like that. Yeah, they're done. There is no recovery. And profitability, shit, they were barely profitable with all their girls on the fucking roster.
Recovery and profitability. So if that company can get back to making money, then it can be reorganized. And you can say, hey, look, let's restructure this. Let's, change the terms of some
that shit not happening.
debt. Let's, maybe trim some fat off the company, and let's get this thing going.
They didn't want to do that, because if they did that, again, instead of fucking lining the goddamn CEO and the top brass's pockets and focused on their creators, they probably wouldn't be in this this goddamn shitstorm. But
However, Chapter 7 is for those that realistically cannot reorganize or return to profitability.
That's where we're at. Approved.
Chapter 7 is way faster, cheaper, and handled in months versus years for Chapter 11. And in Chapter 7, a trustee takes over versus Chapter 11 with existing management. So looking at all these.
Again, if this company wants to stay around, the whole fucking management is getting bounced out regardless, bro. Their management is the reason that fucking Iron Mouse and the rest of the girls were treated so shittily. They got fucking under these NDAs. They're treating them so goddamn bad, guilt tripping them, and making them feel bad. It's literally this management. Those niggas are gone. This is the same shit that heads are saying about Twitch, bro. If they want to actually have this company stay around and especially move in a better way, bro, the top brass and the moderation team are getting the fuck out. You niggas, I'm not gonna lie, I want heads to be able to feed their family and all that shit. But if y'all want fucking Twitch to actually be a platform that stays around and is good and is the best live streaming platform, they gotta go. They're done. It's the same thing. It literally is the same jump, bro. VShojo staying around, the management is not.
Factors. it's very clear it's going to be Chapter 7. They're also a mainly service-oriented company. They don't have heavy in products or assets. And if you think about it, the only real assets, the big assets that a VTuber company would normally have are the models.
I was about to say the models are like, which without the models, how are you going to get the VTuber?
And like it or not, I mean, at the end of the day, they are an asset. They could be sold to somebody to be skinwalked by some other person, right? And of course, the VTuber.
What do I say about those damn skinwalkers?
Avocado.
Loss of D syndrome. Avocado.
The community would absolutely not accept that. That's deplorable in the general culture of the VTubing community. But technically, you know, from a legal standpoint, it is an asset. Intellectual property right is an asset. So they could sell those assets, except for they don't own those assets. Because the creators own their own IP, there really isn't much to sell. They probably don't own more than a couple of staplers and some desks.
I was about to say, like, yo, because unless the VTuber, if they would own that specific VTuber's, you know, say model or like likeness, like the IP, their whole likeness, then thus if that, like, you know, saying VTuber drop merch or some junk like that, they probably have like the rights over that. But if they don't even got that junk and you don't got rights to the model, you niggas don't got shit.
I mean, that's probably all they really have is some office stuff to liquidate, and that's probably about it. They probably got a lot of liabilities, but nothing to really offset that in significant assets. They weren't investing in real estate. They didn't have any heavy machinery.
I'm about to say shit. Yeah, again, I know the liability. Again, existing management. That's their liability.
There's nothing that they could actually, you know, turn over and sell like a fleet of trucks or cars. So what we're seeing here is going to be Chapter 7. It's going to be a liquidation. There's no way they're going to want to put the existing management, which has been a failure for the past years, and we're talking years, they've been failing in profitability. They're not going to say, hey, you guys can totally turn this around. We're going to give you a chance.
No, you niggas can't, because if you were, you already fucking did it, and you didn't. You made it even more shit, as we're seeing.
Yes. There's no chance of that. I think the judge is going to look at it as this and say, nope, it's definitely going to be Chapter 7. You guys are clearly down that lane. So let's go down the lane of Chapter 7. What's the process for that? So VShojo's got to submit a petition for bankruptcy. Now, we haven't seen this yet. As soon as this gets filed, I'm sure we're going to report in it. I'll report in it. I'll let you guys know.
We'll be talking about it.
But we're going to see a submission of a petition for bankruptcy. When they submit that, they're going to also have to list all their assets, liabilities, their income, expenditures, contracts, leases. And this is...
Oh, yes. Yes, they're going to have to do exactly what we want freaking Yoko and Soy Dubs and our Real Good Touring, whoever at this point, bro, because we don't know nothing with these bulls. We want them to do what they want. We want they... Yo, Trilly can't grammar for nothing. Y'all know Trilly's a dumbass, all this type of shit. They're going to have to do in the process of file Chapter 7 bankruptcy or whatever is what we want them to do for creator class CC2 and 3 and all that stuff, which is crack and open up the fucking books. Yes, baby. I want to see every expense you motherfuckers put on that shit. Because goddamn it, I'm going to be like, huh, well, I don't know if y'all had to spend this. And where was this allocated to? Wait a minute, this $515,000. Wait, wasn't this supposed to go to Iron Mouse's chair? Nah, we cracking all you niggas' books. Is done, bro. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why they, again, like I was saying earlier, have all the girly pops, especially under NDAs and shit, because they know them contracts and all that shit, dude, are probably the most malicious, goddamn malpractice shits I've ever seen.
It's going to be very interesting, because that's when we're going to get the truth.
Yeah.
How deep in financial hot water was VShojo? That is going to be a spicy meatball that I think
already starting off at negative $515,000. So I mean, hey, we know that, but apparently it's $2 million.
all the people in the VTM community, you know, drama tubers and otherwise, everybody, right, is going to sink into and really analyze. And that's going to be an absolute bombshell to see exactly how bad they were performing over the past. And I think that's also instructive for future corporations to not have such ridiculous predictions for profitability. Now, what would happen is after they do that list, they submit all the petition, they're going to get it turned over to a bankruptcy trustee. So the bankruptcy trustee is going to take control of everything. They're going to take all the assets, and their job is to liquidate those assets and distribute them to creditors. So taking anything they have of worth and distributing it. But there's an order. At the top of the list are secured creditors. So anybody who has a secured loan or a mortgage, etc. And then there's unsecured. And that's everybody else, including people like talents. Now, I did mention there is an exemption which might give them as prospective independent contractors priority status over other claims. That might be possible. It may be possible they will cover some money. Maybe. However, it ain't going to be much. And it certainly won't be enough to satisfy all the obligations, particularly the massive charity obligation.
Fuck, because that's literally what I said. Fuck, you gotta get those niggas to give fucking Iron Mouse her charity money, bro. This is fucked. Bro, this is some bullshit. That's actually a fucking scam, bro. Like, yo, it's actually some evil shit. She raised $515,000. as again a girly pop herself, who we know, like, obviously Iron Mouse's condition, she has you know what I'm saying, immunodeficiency, but like she's raising this money specifically again for the charity for children and for heads who also undergo this, bro, and y'all are just taking the fucking cheese. Like, nah, bro, y'all are giving that shit back, bro. Y'all are giving that shit straight back to her so she can give it to the charity, bro. This is some shit, bro. Again, you fucking corpo suits, my nigga. How many fucking houses and cars do you niggas need? Holy shit.
So that's going to be something that's looming out there, and that's going to be something that the trustee is going to have to deal with. Now, another big question that people have asked is about NDAs, and I want to clarify this.
Yes, yeah, nah, this shit really need to be talked about, because this is what's stopping everything from coming out.
Because I have said on certain media, etc., that yes, the NDAs are going to be, at some point, they're going to be able to speak up, they're going to be able to talk. But there's some legal distinction here. And I want to be very clear, because this is something that is kind of a legal, not a gray area, but it's the difference between the law technically and the practical reality. So in the law, technically a bankruptcy only discharges financial obligations, and an NDA is a non-financial obligation. So it's an obligation of confidentiality. So technically an NDA is not gotten rid of by bankruptcy. Bankruptcy does not void NDAs in and of itself. However, it's practically either difficult or almost impossible to enforce NDAs afterwards. Certainly impracticable. Like, you cannot.
Yeah, how the fuck are you gonna try to invoke NDAs on people when your fucking company is on bankruptcy? What the hell, bro? Not even barely. You niggas are not bringing in cheese. The fuck are you gonna hide? The fuck is there to hide now? Because I would assume you're hiding some things and performing malpractices in order to benefit yourselves, which in this case, obviously, as we can see, would be for cheese. But then you're in bankruptcy, you're not making any fucking cheese, so then what are we hiding now? Going back to what I was saying, like, what?
Actually, in reality and practice, go and enforce these things. Why? Well, first of all, the legal priority is given to satisfying the creditors, to satisfying the outstanding debts. It's not given to, hey, we're going to allow you all this funding, we're going to allow you to use all this money to go chase people down and enforce NDAs. That's not given a top priority on the list of things, particularly by the bankruptcy trustee. Further is just the lack of funds. They're not going to possess enough funds to enforce all these NDAs and go out and sue everybody and their mother.
There's also that factor, like, yeah, okay, I break the NDA, you're going to sue me. With what tender?
And everybody and their mother is actually not a just tongue-in-cheek statement. They literally made Silvervale's mother sign an NDA.
I did hear about that. Yo, Techie was talking about that shit a little bit on one of his streams. I was like, yo, what the fuck, bro? I'm not gonna lie. You're making a VTuber's mother sign a fucking NDA? Yeah, there is some shit going on. Or there was definitely some shit going on within this company. That is stamped. There was absolutely.
Talk about that on my next live. But those NDAs, they're not going to have the funds. It costs money. It's not free to go enforce those NDAs. Also, the last thing is, this is something the court can take into effect, is that it's an unfair benefit to the company, particularly given the company's track record.
Exactly, and this is the John I was saying, like, kind of a little bit earlier with the John. How are they going to be able to enforce, like, you know what I'm saying, NDAs and all that, John, especially under the factor of bankruptcy, when you don't got no cheese, too? Like, bro, what are you hiding? The fact that you're using malpractice to make cheese because you're not making any cheese, so it's dumb. And then, obviously, to that, yeah, letting them be able to fucking just shelve out all of these goddamn NDAs, yeah, I would assume, yeah, that's not going to be too fucking koosh and too fair on that part.
Particularly given that the company was using the NDAs to silence people.
Exactly. And then, like, yeah, like Legal Mindset was also saying, yeah, they have a track record of doing this shit. Like, quite literally, every girly pop, every VTuber girly pop that was under this John was basically, it was and is under an NDA.
From speaking about legitimate workplace grievances. And I've already talked about the fact that certain law, like California law and other laws, may actually allow them to speak up on those NDAs, particularly as it relates to workplace grievances. That's completely separate from the bankruptcy process. So there may be ways for them, and there likely are ways for them to speak up about those NDAs despite the bankruptcy process, etc. But beyond that, it would be wholly unjust to allow VShojo, which essentially kept them from making money for some of them up to a year, even more than a year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there was Iron Mouse with her stream, and she was saying there was multiple other times where she didn't get fully reimbursed or not reimbursed, but like fully got paid or whatever for some of the Johns. There was other VTubers saying the same thing too, like, yo, that they did like sponsor streams and all that and never got paid for that, John. Like, bro, what the fuck, bro? You can definitely not let them have fucking them NDAs shelved out after this shit. They really gonna be trying to hide Johns.
Records of them not paying people back now and accounts of them not paying back in 2023, way back in the day. So they're not going to say, hey, look, we're going to allow you to keep, to silence these people in the fact that you screwed them out of money. You shafted them for multiple years and in a massive amount. I mean, we saw 2 million was that amount projected there.
Jesus
Let's say that half of that
Christ.
is loans and half of that is talent. Say 1 million in loans and 1 million in talent. That's just me spitballing and guessing. Yeah, that doesn't look good. That does not look good.
I
With
mean,
that-
it doesn't even matter to split, regardless of the factor. You're projected, like, or estimated $2 million fucking dollars in debt. Like, what the fuck is going on? And your main creator, again, like, or better yet, one of your super main creators that was keeping your fucking company above float, you owe her $500,000. Like, bro, these niggas are fucked. Like, I need you to understand. Like,
amount of outstanding debt. So I do think there's going to be a point at which practically they'll be able to speak out, they'll be able to talk up, and I will caution all of the talents to consult with their individual lawyers when their individual lawyer that is representing them, not me, but their lawyer representing them, tells them they can speak up, do it, right?
oh yeah, no, you always listen to your lawyer. In this case, guys, we have to pull up Miss Rogan.
Base?
We gotta actually listen to our lawyers and shut the fuck up, no cap, and not in the factor of like, yo, in a bad way for like the VTuber girly pops, but in a sense of like, yeah, duh, you don't want to misspeak or say any junk that could potentially be like a lie or spread misinformation, because then that's how these fucking NDAs cook their asses. But when them boys get lifted, or when their lawyers tell them, okay, yo, it's good to say this, we'll be waiting, Huns, and please tell your full stories, because holy shit, would we love to light an even bigger fire under VShojo's asses. That would be grand. I'm not gonna lie, that would be grand. But for now, yeah, I'm gonna play it right, listen to the lawyers, you know what I'm saying, and wait till they can share the info.
Do it when their lawyer tells them to do it. And I think that day will come sooner than later. So everyone, please be patient. Let the process
Yo, Techie keep getting me hyped. Techie like, yo, that day coming soon, bro. Trust, everything about to come out. And I'm like, bro, it's looking like it is, bro.
play out. Let the legal
Like,
process happen. The best thing you can do is to support your creators. And it's so lovely that
hell yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Again, Iron Mouse, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of the other VTuber girly pops that's on the John, yeah, for sure. Especially now that they're going independent. Like, yo, every John and every bit of support that they get is going strictly to them. Ain't no corpo shit, ain't no fucking middleman. Nah, fuck that. You share love to the VTuber girly pops, and they getting that boy direct. We love to see it, baby. We love to see it, baby. No cap. But yeah, nah, fuck these corpos. So now they really gonna be getting their bag up and all that. They really gonna be feeling that support.
we had Iron Mouse breaking record. She's going to get to
Hell
probably
yeah.
1 million on her IDF fundraiser on Tilify. Absolutely great. That
I'm
thing
pretty sure a lot of heads were telling me now she hit it already.
shot up overnight, and we're seeing some silver lining to a very bad situation. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below,
yeah.
and I'll catch you on the next.
You already know, gangsta. Of course. Shout out the lawyer on the case. Legal mindset. That was VShojo's inevitable bankruptcy. Fast facts. I know here. Of course, if you guys want to watch the OG video, down in the description, first link, sure to love a legal mindset. Been watching Legal Mindset. Y'all know what time it is. Final opinions and conjecture.
You lose. VTubers win. We lose.
Stand. You already know, of course. Again, sure to love with Iron Mouse, the rest of the VTuber girly pops that got shafted by this bitch ass fucking corpo company. Also, sure to love a legal mindset. He's always dropping them legal jargon on these dramas, and John's be going on, and we do love to see it because you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the legalities too, truly don't know shit, and is definitely not a fucking lawyer, would never pass the bar. So excellent resource as always. Shout out Legal Mindset again, sure to love, and we are going to catch y'all on the flip, baby. Peace.